Hello, welcome to our weekly webinar on small business topics. My name is Michael DiDonato. I'm a business advisor for the SBDC. The SBDC is a national program, and I'm joined by Lauren Simpson, and Lauren has a presentation that she can bring up that explains what we're about. Today, we're going to be talking about marketing. There's more marketing topics I want to cover today, and we've been going through some other marketing topics previous to this session. So we are a national program. We have over 1,000 locations across the country. The mission is economic development. We are supported by a grant from the Small Business Administration, a grant from the state of California to GoBiz, and colleges and universities and other partners throughout the nation. Our services are at no cost. We have a number of locations throughout LA County. We have approximately, I think, 200 advisors working at these centers. These centers usually have 10 or so, 8 to 10 or a little bit more advisors. I work out of a number of these centers, as well as the lead center. The lead center is in Long Beach. And we are also co-located with the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. There are centers elsewhere. Of course, there's no cost for these workshops, and we have lots and lots of workshops offered through the centers and through the lead center, similar to what you're experiencing now. They're done remotely. Sometimes they're done on site, depending upon the center. And again, we're here to help you because it's economic development. In the LA area, you can call 866-588-7232 or go to smallbizla.org/new clients. If you're outside of LA, there's the America's SBDC site, and you can go ahead and go to that location, that site, and find other centers outside of LA. And I know that there's centers throughout the state, for example, Northern California, Orange County, Riverside, San Diego, et cetera. So with that, we're going to go ahead and go forward with our presentation. I'm going to bring up a site. We've been working through this. The site is called Health Branding, and at that site, there's 52 marketing strategies. We have not completed our survey of all these marketing strategies, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that up right now, and we're going to work through it. At times, I'll be asking Lauren to unmute. If you have some background noise, it's because she's in the office now. But Lauren is a marketing expert, and so I appreciate her help in working through some of these strategies. By the way, for those of you who are relatively new to this workshop, previously we have been through the development of a buyer persona, development of a customer journey map, and we already looked at many of these marketing strategies, and we developed the buyer persona and customer journey map live with Lauren for a toy store, brick and mortar location in Santa Monica. We can do this for you too. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then reach out to Lauren, contact us, and we can help you develop a buyer persona and a customer journey map. Okay, so I'm going to go forward. We'll briefly go through the ones we've already covered. Okay, the number 52 was chosen deliberately because of the 52 weeks in a year and the 52 cards in a deck. There's more strategies than what you see here. For example, influencer marketing is not referenced here. Socialization through professional networking is not referenced here. We have cause marketing. That's when you're helping a cause, because by helping others, you're also promoting yourself. And Tom's is the obvious example. There's relationship marketing, transactional marketing. Walgreens has done that. And I'm not going to go through all of these in extensive detail because we already covered them. Offline marketing is print marketing, such as billboards, car wraps, car benches, flyers, coupons, advertising in newspapers. Depending upon who your ideal client is and a customer journey map and what you're doing, you're going to use 2 or 3, maybe 4 of these strategies. So what happens, you develop the persona, you create the customer journey maps, determine the strategies, and then determine the tactics associated with those strategies. So offline marketing is a strategy. The way you use it is the tactic. And here's an example of print media. So you have print media, broadcast media, social media, digital media, and socialization. It depends on what you're doing. So Coca-Cola has these machines that you can hug them. I haven't seen them before, but it's pretty cool, right? We've been through many of these. Lauren is an expert in digital marketing. We have other people who are experts in digital marketing. And I'm not going to go into detail about all of these. Scarcity marketing is probably not appropriate for most of you, although I think some of the sports brands are using scarcity marketing to drive sales, such as the drop of new sneakers. And cars, selective cars, right? Word of mouth is always great, especially for professional services. That's a terrific way to generate sales for yourself. And there's CTA's call to action, when a pop-up comes up, like we saw when I went to the site, that's a call to action. And it depends on who you're dealing with, right? Diversity in marketing is important in today's world, depending on what you're doing. And we're going to continue to go through this. Undercover marketing is not so, I don't really like it all that much. It may not be appropriate for most businesses, but the trailers for movies are an example of undercover marketing. And then you have coupons and discounts and liquidations, that's transactional marketing. And we're going to continue on from here. Mass marketing, you're not Walmart. You're not selling refrigerators to everyone in the country. Forget the thought of mass marketing. When we ask you who your ideal client is, don't tell us it's anyone between 25 and 40, or any woman between 25 and 40, or any man between 18 and 35. That is absolutely the wrong answer. You need to develop an ideal client avatar that details psychographic, sociographic, and biographical details that would represent your perfect client. You are the exact opposite of mass marketing. You're not Walmart, okay? Seasonal marketing might be appropriate. Remember, we have a toy store that we're talking about as an example, in which case seasonal marketing would be absolutely appropriate during the holiday season, during Christmas and other potential holiday seasons, okay? I'll mark as an example of that. Public relations may be important to you, depending on what you're doing. If you're in the medical field, medical professional, you're doing research, perhaps public PR might be appropriate for you. If you're an attorney, professional services may be completely appropriate for you. Okay, Apple software company, PR is still extremely important for them. Okay, viral marketing, it happens. I've seen products that just take off, and when they take off, become viral. It can happen potentially, right? There's this WestJet experience where they got 800,000 views from their Christmas video. That's an example of viral marketing. Okay. Online marketing, right? And this is where we're getting into some digital strategies. And we've talked about this previously, right? So Geico asked their users to enter the zip code for instance, quote on better savings. Good for them. Okay, there it is. Email marketing is going to be important, I think, to the vast majority of people. If you don't have a customer relationship management tool, a CRM tool, and if you're not collecting emails, you might be missing the boat, depending upon your situation. So you should seriously consider email marketing. Like the toy store should be collecting emails from their clients, perhaps incentivize them, give them emails, so they can send out discount coupons and promote specials to their customers within geographic area, right? So email marketing might be really important, okay? Evangelism marketing, it depends. People love their Apple products. I mean, they're evangelists for Apple products. I like Apple. I don't evangelize for it, but many people do. You might have your favorite brand or whatever it is, and you might evangelize for it. That's great. It's awesome. Okay, event marketing. Love event marketing. I don't know about everybody else, but I want to go out and meet people because we were all shut in during the pandemic. And meeting people, developing those relationships might be really important to you, especially if you need to develop a referral base. If you're in a situation where you need referrals to come to you for your business, then event marketing, either hosting events or going to events, is going to be significant for you. And this is coming down to socialization, attending professional networking events. I'm going to Cinegear Paramount Studio over the weekend. It's an opportunity to see the latest equipment in movie production, although there's no production going on right now because of the writer's strike, the director's strike, and the actor's strike. However, that is still going on at the Paramount Studio, and that's an event. It's a trade show. Go to trade shows if it's appropriate for your business. Okay, Macy's is an example. There's outbound marketing where you get a list, buy a list of prospects, and you call people. I don't buy random lists, have them targeted, because then you're just spamming people with phone calls. And Microsoft did this when they were trying to sell some product. Okay. Inbound marketing is when people are calling you. This happens a lot with, for example, the cable companies, and they're trying to upsell you on other products. Okay. And then there's freebies, may be appropriate. If you're a dry cleaner, give out something free. Makes sense to me. Okay, it depends. Offer additional products and services. So Amazon offers their Prime program with customers who want free 2-day shipping, and it works. You can do something similar if appropriate. Okay, newsletters. If you're not writing a newsletter and it is appropriate for your ideal client avatar, then you should do it. Now, you don't necessarily have to write it. There are services that will provide it, depending on what you're doing. Okay, so the Motley Fool is a perfect example of this. Those of you who do not know who the Motley Fool is, they offer I think it's almost daily now, but certainly a weekly newsletter with investment highlights for those who want to get invested in the stock market. And there's the printed version of one of their publications. Content marketing is where you have lots of platforms. I don't know, there's numerous social media platforms and there's websites, etc., where you're going to have to go ahead and create content. It could be educational content, it could be a video, right? Depends on who you're dealing with. And here you see an ad, prepare for the future, and that's also an example of content marketing. Okay, trade shows, love trade shows. Do it, go to them. Lots of resources at trade shows. I think it's totally appropriate for the vast majority of businesses to engage in trade shows, either as an exhibitor or just go to attend, see what the latest technologies are. If you're into comics, go to Comic-Con. If you're into electronics, go to the electronic consumer shows in Vegas. Just go to the shows, go meet people. Okay, go to the car shows if you're into cars. And there is a wonderful example of marketing at one of the car shows by Ford. Okay, this is interesting. Article marketing. So people can write articles offering knowledge and promoting themselves at the same time. And that is a great way of going, depending on what you're doing. White papers attract people. No question about it. And that's why AWS has the white papers. Okay.
Hey, Mike, before you continue on that article marketing, another form would be tapping into bloggers and digital influencers that actually do written pieces for you. A lot of times, a lot of the packages that I create, especially when working with a digital influencer, is having them post, yes, on their social. So, a native post, a graphic or what have you on their timeline, but then also producing a written piece to be published on their platforms as well as on, the client's platform.
Thank you.
Sure.
Great. We did talk about writing a blog, by the way. You can write a blog, and it may be appropriate to do so, depending on what you're doing. Again, it's always going to be, it depends. That's the answer you get from accountants, lawyers, engineers, architects, and marketeers. It depends. What is it that you want to do? If you're involved in a business where information is really important to your clients, then writing a blog may be totally appropriate, or a blog. Search marketing, has to do with search engine optimization, SEO. If you have not heard of that term before, don't worry about it. Talk to us, we'll explain it to you. Come see one of our advisors. It has to do with something called keyword. And we have people that can help you understand how to engage in search engine optimization for your website. And actually, Lauren, I have a question for you. Didn't Google recently change their algorithm? Can you please unmute?
Yeah, so that happens more often than not. Algorithms change and then you have to change your entire SEO strategy. So that's going back to partnering with digital influencers or partnering, excuse me, with a digital marketer. You want to make sure that they are looped in or understand what's happening in the industry and stay on top of it, because things change constantly. Just like a Snapchat goes up and then it fades away after a certain amount of time. It's the same thing with these the various algorithms, even with social media platforms. So IG or Instagram will change their algorithm, and so your content, where it would at one point show to a certain audience organically, no longer does so, and so you have to change how you're creating your content. But yes, Mike, short answer, yes, Google changes their algorithms, but so do the social media platforms.
And by the way, for those who have not connected Google Analytics to your website, go ahead and do it. And if you don't know how to do it, talk to your webmaster and/or ask for an appointment with one of our advisors that knows how to do that, because it's important to track your analytics through Google. Okay. When we're talking about SEO, we're talking about something called keywords and backlinks. Keywords are the search items people type into Google to find something. So for example, with the store that caters to younger children in Santa Monica, brick and mortar store, a single keyword might be baby toys, a toddler toy. I've seen sites with hundreds of thousands of keywords. And I've seen sites with 1,000 keywords. I've seen sites with 400 keywords. The more appropriate and relevant keywords that you have, the better off you are. And I've seen sites with backlinks of 10, and I've seen sites with backlinks of 100,000. So backlinks are links that refer back to your site. And that happens through many different ways, such as through blogs, other people talking about you. And that might link back to your site. That's a backlink. We'll move on from here. Direct mail marketing is what it is, exactly what it says. Directly communicate with the customer with texting, and email, consumer websites, and online displays. You're just directly communicating in many, many different ways. It may not be right for you. It may be right for that toy store, right, Lauren? Yeah.
That's right. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, because they can engage in some, if not all of these activities.
They got to keep in mind as we're going through all of these, as Mike was touching on all these, the 52 strategies, keep in mind your budget too. Don't exceed that. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, we're going to talk about budget later on. Okay. Being niche marketing, find a niche. You know, I don't know what your niche is, but you need to know what your niche is. For that toy store that we're referring to, and I'm using that as an example, they focus on toddler and baby toys and possibly some educational toys. That's their niche in that geographic area. Find your niche, whether it's a service or a product, whether it's B2C, B2B to B2G. If you can't define your niche, that's a problem. We can help you define your niche. Okay. So Vans focused on skaters. That's their niche. Great for them. Okay. Drip marketing, Lauren covered this last time we were here. This is where you're sending a little bit of information over time, little bit. It's like a drip, what I call drip marketing, okay? And it helps keep the attention of the people you're trying to reach, okay? Community marketing that for that store in Santa Monica, the hypothetical store, community marketing might be really important because they need to be known within the community, helps build loyalty. They should be engaged in the community in many different ways. By sponsoring a school or helping to do a beach cleanup, something, they should be involved in the community one way or another. Okay. And here we have a bunch of motorcycle riders. And then social media marketing, Laura's an expert on this. Keep in mind, social media marketing is the strategy, but not everybody's on TikTok. If I am your target audience, I'm 64 years old and I'm not on TikTok unless I have to be because someone has a site there I need to look at. But other than that, you're not going to find me on TikTok. That doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong. If I'm your target audience of people like me, advertising TikTok is a waste of your time. And you don't want to waste your advertising dollars. I was just speaking to a school, a phlebotomy school, and they want to attract more students, and their population is between 18 and 24. They don't have a TikTok account. They need to have a TikTok account. Okay. In Southwest has over 30 people dealing with social media. And here you go. They have 1 million followers. I don't know when this was published, but 1 million followers on Twitter. That's great. Cross media marketing means you're using multiple channels, and that's a good way to go. This one's interesting. This happens at trade shows sometimes, close range marketing, or if you're in a mall, you get a text saying, hey, flash sale. There you go. There's a flash sale for some handbags right there, 50% sale. That's called close range marketing. And it may not be right for you, but it might be right for some others. B2B is when you're selling to other businesses. The ideal client persona would be the decision maker within that business that's going to get you the deal, that's signing off the contract. That's the person that you want to deal with. Okay. And you want to focus on that persona and how you're going to reach that decision maker. And IBM is obviously IBM is a B2B marketer, and they're really good at it. So promotional marketing. It's designed to stimulate a customer to take action towards a buying decision. It's a technique that involves various incentives, contests, coupons, sampling. People love contests, by the way. They also love to compare. Having comparison shopping is awesome, no matter what you're doing. Okay, so there you go, Costco. We've all been there. I don't think they offer as much as they used to, but they're doing it for a reason at Costco. Oh, Lauren, take a look at this one. Ambush marketing. What do you think about that?
So here's the thing. I have a love-hate relationship with marketing. As Mike mentioned, it's my world, it's what I do. That said, when I become an unwilling participant in it, not so happy about it.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, I was just gonna say that it used to be, I think that at its inception, so like when it began, it was like a cool way for like the underdogs or the smaller companies to, get out there in front of audiences. But I think it's just been taken to a whole other level. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course they aren't the underdogs, right? But just being able to, it was just Rona, right?
Yeah, Rona. Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
perfect. They're the underdog in comparison to, someone like an Apple. And it's genius. Like it's super cool. But I think that, I think nowadays though, it's kind of gone in a negative direction, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a supporter of it, but to each his own.
Right. B2C, well, this is where converting buyers, B2C business to consumer, aggressively and consistently But they're doing it in ways that are not illegal, they're doing it in appropriate ways, like merchandising, coupons, displays, storefronts, right, physical and online. And this is common for those offering consumer goods. And here's the guitar store, right? There's a sign right there, guitar store. It looks like a guitar, right? Awesome. It's a display. Okay. Cloud marketing. So this is an internet-based marketing approach where all marketing resources or assets are transferred online. So you can develop and modify and utilize and share them. So this is when you have a team of marketeers, right? And you're all accessing the information. So no one person controls it. And I think that's important. Okay. Additionally, Amazon, for example, gets customers to buy digital books and movies, television shows in the digital library, right? That's also part of cloud marketing. So they're offering all their products in a digital library and available on the Kindle Fire. That's an example of it. Mobile marketing. So you provide customers with time and location sensitive, personalized information that promotes goods and services via mobile devices. And here's an example of it, where this promotion going on through these mobile devices for this coffee wrap or whatever it is, French vanilla. I like French vanilla. Okay, through Dunkin' Donuts. I was just in Boston, by the way. I was in Boston for Memorial Day, and Dunkin' Donuts is all over the place. That's where they started. And of course, we had to stop at Dunkin' Donuts and get their coffee and donuts. Alliance marketing. This is where you have two businesses. They come together. It's not a joint venture, but they've come together to pool their resources to promote and sell their product or service. That's great. Especially like if you're in a mall and you have multiple stores, sometimes the stores will come together, especially if they're accessory products or ancillary services products. And it helps both stores do it. I think it's great. And here's Hallmark with, I find that to be funny. Now, Lauren, you want to talk about this one? Reverse marketing.
Sure. So this is a good one because I'm trying to think of when I've used this.
Let's see an example. Dove launched a Dove campaign for real beauty, focusing on natural beauty of women rather than their products.
Yeah. And so if I don't know if you guys do you remember this campaign, Mike?
No, it's 2004. I don't know, this 20 years
Okay,
ago.
so this particular campaign was cool because it focused, like they said, on real women, right? So real beauty, but you see people who look just like you using the product. And so it made you want to then, of course, go out and buy the product. It wasn't, typically when you look at an ad or typically when you're marketed to, you know you're being marketed to. So it's something that's all dressed up in beautiful and, pretty packaged, right? Well, this approach allows you to be, the reverse marketing approach allows you, in my, for me, allows you to be more authentic. And so the approach is versus me feeling like I'm being ambushed by someone who's trying to force their product on me, I am more so educated on it, or I get a glimpse of it and see how it could apply to me. And then I want to go forward with it, or I want to go seek it out. For this particular campaign, because they were using regular people who look just like me and you, it was like, oh, well, she uses this and she looks that great. Well, then of course I want to go purchase the product. And like you said, their sales went above $1 billion.
Yeah,
now, of course, we hope that happens for you.
Right. Not that it's sort of $1 billion, but it led them to recreate their brand around this strategy. That was huge for them.
Yeah, for sure.
For a
Which
small
I'm sure
business,
if they were to calculate it now, it's probably way over that
Right.
billion mark.
Right. Now, for that toy store that we've been using as an example, probably not appropriate to engage in reverse marketing. Right. So you pick 2, 3, maybe 4 strategies that are appropriate for you. And that's interesting.
Yep.
Okay. There you go.
Because there are
that
regular
was the ad.
people, different sizes. Like it's people that you relate to. They're not,
Mhm.
the supermodels are like the Kylie Jenners of the world,
Right.
or Kendall
Right.
Jenners of the world, but they're people like who could be sitting next to you in your cubicle. So
Yeah.
yeah, this went a long way. I'm trying to think who someone else did. Oh, if you think about it, even today, of course I brought up the Jenners, but Skims, if you guys are familiar with that product, the Kardashian, I think it's like an underwear line, they tend to use real people in
Wow.
sizing. Actually, they're not the only ones. There are several different makers that are starting to do that. Target is a big one. Using more people that look like regular people versus, the model size. So reverse
Thank you
marketing
for that.
is definitely coming back.
Okay,
You
I'll
got more?
reshare my screen. I'm sorry. 1 minute. There we go.
Hey, Mike, why don't you have people tell or put it in the chat, like of all of these tactics that you've gone over, if any of them are resonating or if they've tried them or
Yeah,
looking to try.
I mean, we've been through a number of these, but if you've engaged in some of these or want to talk about some of these tactics that are relevant to you, go ahead. Strategies. Go ahead. If you've done telemarketing, let us know.
Oh,
And
yeah.
how to turn out. I mean, I think we all know what this is. We get those annoying phone calls. And I'm not talking about the annoying phone calls. In my opinion, you should be focused on those people who are interested in your product, not just random phone calls, who we all get this stuff. But telemarketing still occurs. I still get the calls, especially for people who want to do work on my house. I get a call a week, okay? And by the way, the house they're referring to, I sold 10 years ago because they have the wrong information. Okay, but I moved on. But that's telemarketing. If you're going to do telemarketing, make sure you have right information. Make sure the information is up to date. Okay, and it might be targeted based upon the buyer persona. So that store we're talking about, hypothetical store, we've already created an ideal client avatar. So you want to find people who meet that description. It's a young mother, etc., a couple of young kids, and find the right time to reach out to her in an appropriate way, in a respectful way, and tell her about the store and maybe some ways you could help her with her toddlers in terms of toys and things that the toddlers might like. I was with my nephew who's 3 years old. He loves construction vehicles. He has a ton of these toy construction vehicles. I swear he's going to be a contractor. And then he created a big old traffic jam with all these vehicles on the floor. It was great. All right, humanistic marketing. So human needs are a state of felt deprivation. This goes back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So at the base level, we have food, shelter, and safety. Then you have the social needs, and you have the individual needs and self-actualization, right? So humanistic marketing looks at the level, Maslow's levels of hierarchy, right? And addresses them. That's what this is about, okay? And this is a very effective campaign because it tugs on our collective heartstrings. This is obviously an impactful way of reaching people because someone should not be abused and you want to help them out. This is different than freebie marketing. This is free sample marketing. It's not dependent on complementary marketing. It consists of giving away a free sample of product to influence the consumer. Okay, so P&G does this. I think they're still doing it, by the way, and it works for them, or else they wouldn't continue to do it. Database marketing. This is a form of direct marketing using databases of customers or potential customers to generate, and this is the key point, personalized communication. It emphasizes the use of statistical techniques to develop models of customer behavior, which are then used to select customers for communications. Keep in mind, these are personal communications. You're not spamming people with the same marketing message, okay? And you're gonna see on the screen, so I can't read it, it's a little hard to read, but these are personalized letters. By the way, letters are still read. It's so rare to get a letter nowadays that people actually read letters. if that store hand wrote letters to people within their community and sent coupons to them, I bet you that store, the hypothetical store, would generate a significant amount of business. If you're involved in a business that relies on human relationships, you might consider actually visiting the people, like it's the business to business, and dropping off a handwritten letter and a small gift to generate more activity for you. Those types of gestures are important. If you're in the medical field and you feel that you want to service hospital rooms, emergency workers, etc., drop off stuff to the emergency workers. Give them a card. Give them a thank you. Okay? The human touch cannot be underestimated. You want to talk about this, Lauren? Affinity marketing.
I think this is a good one, especially for those that are like a smaller business, because partnering with someone else, then you're able to, make your monies go a lot further, right? There was an example. I think it was day one of this presentation, Mike, when you were talking about the toy store and the toy store having like a meet and greet of sorts in store, like an in-store event. An example of affinity marketing would be that toy store partnering, let's say, with a toy maker, or with if it's a toy store, 9 times out of 10 they're going to sell, mama products, right? So maybe it's a product that is for a new mom or a nursing mom, or something along those lines. Then they would partner with said company, just like Nike and Apple, yes, to further both products. So now you've tapped in not only into the let's say the mama product, but you've also people, so their contact list, but now you're also going into the toy store's contact list as well. And so you unite those two items because both lists are more than likely, interested in the other's promotion, and you just, you get that more legs on your campaign versus just going with one audience or contact list. This example of Nike and Apple, genius.
Yeah, that really is genius. I love it. It's down here on the level. That's great. Yeah, terrific. Permission marketing, the privilege, not the right, of delivering anticipated personal and relevant messages to people who actually want to get it, right? So this is where people are authorizing you to go ahead and contact them. That now happens quite a bit when you go to websites, right? You don't have to give your email, but if you're giving permission to them when you sign up for stuff, that's permission marketing. Okay. Yep. Loyalty marketing. Is a good one. Go ahead, go for it.
No, who doesn't go to like a Starbucks or have a rewards account with, their favorite company? These are great because you are allowing people to, collect rewards or collect whatever it might be. Let's say rewards, to go towards something that might be free or discounted. 9 times out of 10, I don't know if you're like me, I miss the star days, the double star days, or whatever it is at Starbucks. So I continue to make the purchases, but 9 times out of 10, the company is not going to lose money on me because I'm probably not going to partake in whatever the free item is. And those that do actually partake, you're not really losing out on as much money as you would have if everyone did. So I think incentive or loyalty marketing is a really good way to go, especially for companies like if you're a store. So a lot of stores, I know, like beauty supply
like the
stores
toy store we've been talking about, right?
Right, the toy store, they'll have like those cards or something digital. Again, coffee places will have it, or cafes where like Toast or whatever the different platforms are, to collect those loyalties. And then when you come in, I get an upsized drink, or I get a pastry for free. But there's always a time limit on it, right, Mike? So
yes, they do expire. I've run into that. That's
how you save your money.
Yeah, it expired, but it's effective.
It is
None of
effective.
that. What else are you doing when you engage in loyalty marketing? You're getting contact information. That contact information is highly valuable.
Yep.
Not only are you getting contact information, you're getting digital information about what people are buying or consuming, which then allows you to adjust your inventory, your services, your marketing and strategies and tactics, because you're going to see trends. So it's more than just his loyalty card. There's lots of data being collected and tracked and actually sold to others. Keep that in mind. And this is for rapid rewards, unlimited reward seats. Oh, this must be for a airline. I don't recognize it though.
Looks like Southwest.
Okay. All right. Cool. Personalized marketing, sometimes called one-to-one marketing. Unique product offering for each customer. It's a little different than differentiation. Nike ID, perfect example. They have a personalized marketing concept. You might be able to do that. It's not really just related to the products, it could be services. You might have a customized service just for one. If you're a contractor, you're always engaged in customized services because, especially for residential homeowners, they want you to customize the work to be done for their homes. Okay, and there's the Nike ID, which is an absolutely great ad, by the way. Made for Kobe, designed by you. That's awesome. What an ad. Yeah. All right, talk about guerrilla marketing, Maren. You're muted.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think guerrilla marketing can be fun. You'll see the very bottom says flash mobs are a good example. Who doesn't like to see a flash mob? I've never actually experienced one in person, but I think I would quite enjoy it.
Just do
I
it
would-
legally.
I know, please. Oh my gosh, yes, everything legally and in order, please.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of
Let's see what they
I know
got
you
here.
said flash mob.
Shark Week. Shark
This kind
Week.
of freaked people out though, Mike, because they were seeing these. So they had these surfboards all throughout the beach. And you see how the people are picking them up. They're picking them up
Yeah.
because you see it like on the beach, and you're like, what the heck happened? And then you read the ad.
Yep. But it drew attention.
It drew attention. Yep, it did. But you can kind of see where kind of guerrilla marketing kind of skates the line of kind of going too far and then not.
Yeah.
But it's definitely clever.
Brand lover marketing. So brand lovers bring brands to life. For a brand to elevate itself into a cult brand, it has to give customers a feeling of belonging, right? While generating strong feelings of love for its customers. This is, if you're at the top of the brand loyalty pyramid, the brand equity pyramid, that's awesome. Very few people reach the top of the brand equity pyramid. I would argue that some fashion houses have done so, Balenciaga, for example, Gucci, right? I would argue that some, let's see, cars like Corvettes. I mean, that's at the top of the list, I would argue. Okay. So
I'd say
they're
Mustang though. They have a
Mustang
cult
too. Yeah,
following.
absolutely up there.
Yeah.
Right. Top of the list for brand
Mhm.
equity for brand lovers, right? Apple, top of the
Apple.
list, right? And there's many other brands. You want to elevate yourself into that brand equity pyramid by developing, products and services that people just absolutely love. And it doesn't have to just be B2C. It can be B2B. It can be B2G. Okay, but B2G is a little different because that often involves contracts and going ahead and try to get bids out and responding to bids, etc. So B2G marketing is a little different than B2C marketing and B2B marketing. Oh, there we go. There's an example of a crowd there. And I see Cisco, by the way. Cisco is really a B2B company because they distribute food to restaurants and other food providers, and they are huge throughout the country. Very large food distributor. And that concludes the presentation on 52 marketing strategies. I'm going to go ahead and put this into the chat room so everyone can have it. And I'm going to recommend to you that you reach out to us and let us help you with your marketing strategy. Let's help you with your development of your buyer persona and your customer journey maps. And if you heard my Boston accent come out, it's because I was just there. Okay. So I think we'll end this early, Lauren. And next time we can pick this up, and we're going to tie this back to a marketing budget. I will tell you this, the SBA recommends that a business allocates 7 to 8% of its revenue to a marketing budget. This is across the board, all industries. For a government contractor, it might be 2%. For a customer-facing business, like a restaurant or a toy store that we've been talking about, it might be 12 to 15%. For a brand new business trying to grab market share in a brand new geographic location or in a digital space, it might be as high as 20% at first. It depends on what you're doing. And of that 7 to 8% on average, 2 to 3% should be allocated to run rate marketing. Run rate marketing has to do with you generating the same ads over and over and over again over a period of time. My local paper, I live in Marina Del Rey, it's called the Argonaut. I have seen the same ads in that paper for the past 10 years for the same businesses. Why? Because it works. It's called run rate advertising. So briefly, let me just say this. There's broadcast media, there's social media, there's digital media, there's socialization, and there's marketing through things like email, CRM, etc. You have to decide which of those categories are appropriate for you and what tactics, and everything you just saw there, those 52 marketing strategies, fall within broadcast media, print media, social media, digital media, socialization. They all fall into one of those categories. Anything else to add to this, Lauren?
I would say just say again, I put the link in the chat again, Mike. But I would just suggest everyone to take another look at the various strategies that you covered and to find at least one, if not two strategies that work for them. A lot of times when it comes to marketing, you need to do a 1-2 punch. The bigger the budget, you do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 punch. But starting out, definitely collecting those emails so that you can do email marketing. Think about digital marketing just because of the amount of time people are spending on their phones. But again, just take a look at the strategies again and find what works best for you and do something. One last note, a lot of times when money is tight, or actually when money is tight, people tend to veer away from marketing. And I think marketing is just extremely important. You have to keep it going. You want to stay top of mind to your current clients and customers, as well as those who can be future clients and customers. So that's all I got.
I'm putting into the chat room our website. You can go to our website. If you're not already a client, you can sign up for a client, and we will connect you to a marketing expert if that's your talent.
There we go.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lauren. And we'll be back next week to talk about a marketing budget. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Mike. Thank you.